This video is about all of the different types of wood I've used in my whittling projects and the lessons I've learned about them. Here are all the whittling projects I've made on this channel so far. And I was about to make a video about what I've learned about them in general and what were the decisions I made along the way, all the way from the beginning to more recent projects. But then I figured that there's just so many different topics that I could cover. So to make things a little bit more clear and easier to digest, this video is only going to be about wood. So far I've only used species that are local to Finland, which is where I live. And here on the screen right now you can see all of the different species of wood that have been used in my projects. I started out using quite a lot of European red pine because it was very easy to find outside, even during winter. This is also made of that. But I've also used it later on. Even this year, this eagle was made out of European red pine. And for this kind of carving, I think it is a very good option, and a lot of different pines probably as well. I find that it cracks way more rarely compared to some deciduous trees like aspen over here. So if you're finding sticks outside, a lot of them are probably still moist. This was made out of green wood. Pretty much all of the things I've made out of pine were made out of green wood. But even so, none of them ended up cracking. I also quite like these beautiful patterns that can be found, especially in smaller branches of European red pine. Some of my earliest whittling tutorials were made out of goat willow. That is just a mere matter of coincidence, because I just happened to come across a good bit of goat willow. And the nice thing about willow is that it is a very workable, decent wood that can be found almost anywhere on the planet. Although the species are obviously going to be slightly different. Now it's significantly harder than what I use nowadays, but it's still a pretty decent option. After that, I started using a lot of European aspen. I started using it because I heard it was pretty good. That's a wood that has come up almost every time I've had a conversation about carving in Finland. And European aspen is very nice, but the thing with that is it's not very homogeneous. So like you can see here, there's a pretty nice pattern, a nice color change. I kind of like that effect, but the darker part is much harder. So that makes carving a little bit trickier. Now if you're lucky enough to come by a very soft piece that's completely this lighter part, then aspen is some of the softest wood. This one was super easy to carve. Same goes with this one. They were made out of the same piece of wood that I used very sparingly because it was, at the time, the best piece of wood I ever had my hands on. These two projects are the only projects I ever used aspen in the form of a branch. So the previous ones, like I said, were made out of pieces of firewood, but this one was made out of green wood. Very, very moist when I got it, and in the drying process it cracked, but only just a little bit, and luckily in a very favorable place. But even so, it's a little bit more risky compared to European red pine. This one right here is common juniper. It's a very nice wood for more detailed carving, small, thin stuff that needs durability. This is way harder than any other wood I've used, but it's still pretty easy to work with. This is actually something that's used in Finland quite a lot, especially in Lapland. So if you ever go to the Finnish Lapland and you go to a souvenir shop, if there are any wooden like jewelry or butter knives or something like that, it's almost always juniper. Last spring, I pretty much accidentally came across Norway spruce. It's a very common tree in Finland, but I've never really heard anyone talk about it when it comes to hand carving. But one day I just came across a piece not too different from this one, and I just saw it and it looked soft. I don't know exactly how to explain this, but it looked like it had a lot more air in it, like it was light and very porous. So maybe like comparing these two, you can see a bit of a difference. This is silver birch, this is Norway spruce, and you know, looks almost like foam. So then I tried it out of curiosity and it was amazing. And that's when I started using it primarily. Almost all of my projects after that have been made out of Norway spruce, and since last spring it has been my favorite wood to use. That being said, I'm still always open to trying new types of wood. For this crocodile project I figured that the very long and thin tail would benefit from something a little bit harder, which is why I used silver birch. Previously I always thought that it would be a bit too strenuous for my taste, but it turns out that for small projects like this, it's actually quite nice. Now it takes a little bit more time compared to Norway spruce or European aspen, but it's nice to hold something that doesn't feel like it's gonna break. So for example, this one is pretty fragile. This one was made out of Norway spruce. I could very easily break these legs just by squeezing here. This one is just a decorative item, so it doesn't really matter. But let's say I was making toys or something, I would definitely prefer birch. The last wood in this video is what I made this one out of, and it is common alder. And getting my hands on some of this was just a lucky accident. Usually if I go outside looking for branches, alder is pretty much a waste of time, because most of the time, at least around here, the branches are already rotten before they even fall to the ground. So what you can find is just mushy, moldy, rotten wood. But this time there had been some quite strong winds and I was able to find an almost fresh branch. And now I still have a decent bit of this left. It's a very smooth wood to carve. The grain of the wood is quite tight, at least in these branches. And it can also have quite nice color variation. But unlike aspen, I didn't really notice any differences in hardness, even though the color changes quite a lot. That's it for this video. If you want to learn about how to recognize wood that is this kind of buttery smooth, click on this video right here to learn more.